Hey, this is David Jose coming to you again. I want to drop a little bit of knowledge on you guys. Um, this is something that I really enjoy doing. Most of you guys know that my background is in psychology. I just ended up getting involved with some big real estate guys, and I ended up doing quite well. Even starting out when I did my first deal, I actually put 36,500 cash in my pocket in my early 20s from doing my first deal. I didn't have very much help, but what I did have was the background in psychology. I was able mentally to push myself past the barriers that other people told me that I should have. So my own family members, my own friends, my significant other at the time, who's not very significant anymore, but my significant other at the time did not believe that I can do well with real estate, even though she saw me make huge chunks of money. And it even got to the point that she was able to somewhat remove my belief in myself out of me by all of her negative comments and the way that she treated me, just because I had a lot of love for her and she was around me all the time. But what I want you guys to see is this. When you have the right thought patterns and when you're focused and when you are at the point that you have a serious why, and the why is going to be the reason that you have for doing what it is that you need to do. When you have a serious why, like you know that your kids are going to struggle, or you know that life would be tough, or you know that you just don't want to go the route of suffering and losing everything you have and going through much pain to get to the point that you move. If you don't want to go through that, it becomes a why for you. It's your reason for moving, your reason for all the action that you put out, and it's something that if you can keep a serious why, it'll keep you activated. It'll keep you, with huge momentum and success. Now, I'm not saying that everything you do will work, but this is one little tip that I'm going to give you guys, and one little trick that I use with my students. There's so many different types of techniques out there, so many different ways to do things, and things change and things move. But the biggest thing that hurt people is their inability to put out massive, consistent action. People will do a few things, and then in their own mind, they'll be told that it won't work. Their mind will trick them into believing that maybe this is a waste of time in doing this because it didn't work in 5 minutes, so therefore maybe I should slow down the amount, and it becomes a self-destructive behavior. But even in my coaching, what I do is I'll tell people what it is that I need them to do. I'll push them to do it, and I look for this certain point. And if you look at any good fighter, any good basketball player, any good football player, you'll find that when they start to believe in a system that the coach has put in place, which the coach usually has a better understanding of what the players need to do in order to come together and to create a good unit and a good system and a good team. When they get to the point that they believe in the system and they break down from their own pride and their own beliefs that things only work a certain way and their own ideas that are blocking their judgment, when they finally buy into the system is when things go well. But there's a dark side. There's a time when they are trying to scratch and kick and bite and do everything they can do to hold on to the parts of them that allow them to get into problems or to make mistakes. So as a human, you want to believe in what it is that you want to hold on to yourself. There's a sense of pride that makes you feel like you know the way, even when you're suffering and losing everything, and your spouse is looking at you broken down and hurting, and you just want to hold on to what it is that you've been doing because you want to make it look like you know. Well, in my coaching, what I do is I'll give people directions. I'll check on them sometimes, and I'll see that they're not posting as much as they're supposed to, or they slowed down, or they lost their momentum. And this is the one thing that I'll do that many coaches will do that have good sense and understand how to build people up. I'll totally let them go off and do their own thing. And when they go off and do their own thing, I find that they end up breaking down because they're not getting the results they want, but they're dealing with me, and so they feel like, well, I should be able to use my own mind, do things my own way, and have results in your way just because I'm connected to you. And what ends up happening is the lack of action and the lack of applying the right steps, it causes a great frustration. And so it's funny because I was on the phone with Dangerous Dorothy the other day, and I told her, I said, Dorothy, you know that point where, you were moving a little bit and you saw the stuff wasn't going the way you wanted? You didn't tell me, but I could tell you were really frustrated, you were really mad, you were really hurting. You remember that point? She said, yeah. And she laughed to herself because she knew that I knew that she was mad, but she didn't tell me. And I said, that was a point where I was testing you to see if you would go past the frustration, break down and accept the way to do things the right way so that you could have massive success. And then in the last 4 days, this woman has gotten 31 or 32 houses under contract. This girl is on fire. She is serious. But what happened? Her psychology and her idea of how the world works and how things happen has been broken down. And now she sees that nobody cares, who's dealing with her in business, if she's black, white, if she's tall, short, if she's, if she was a male or a female. They could care less who she was. They want the benefits that she brings to the table. And that's the thing. If you can respect people and be good to people, you find out that people want the benefits that you can bring to the table. So I have to say that the things that are really powerful in my coaching and in my training is I will do things to let you become broken down if you don't follow the steps. And what it does is it allows you to exhaust every type of thing that you can try to do. And when you get to the point that you just give up and you come cussing and mad and you're on fire and you don't know what to do and you're just pissed off at me, then I reveal to you the fact that you've been missing the steps. And I help you to see the right way, and I help you to do the right action to get things to go the right way. But it takes for you to be consistent. It takes for you to stick with it. So I want you guys to see that when you're dealing with any system, when you're dealing with anything, learn to adapt your psychology. Don't have so much pride that you think you know the only way to do it, or you have to continue in the road that you're going in order to be something. Realize that there's techniques and systems that are already working without you, and have enough wisdom to come in, follow, knock stuff out, and kick butt. And you'll notice that some of my guys who have been broken down, who have went through pain and went through struggle, are now closing more deals and cashing more checks than any other group that I've seen. So, or any other person that I've seen, that's an actual new real estate investor, and many gurus. So all I'm going to do is, let you guys know that, think about what it is that you're doing and try to get yourself in a position where you could take advantage of a lot of the opportunities out there by changing the way you think, by making sure that you're making conscious efforts to be powerful, to move. So I want to put this out there for you guys to think about this. And I wanted to also ask you guys, I seen that a lot of you guys have jumped on the $20 psychology of real estate videos for buyers and sellers. And so I'm thinking about doing another 20 videos just for psychology and just for understanding how to break through the different issues that you're going through and to be able to get to the point where you're focusing and you're moving in a powerful way. So if that would be something that you guys would be interested in, that I should do. I see that a lot of people are struggling financially now. I see we still are having issues based on the crash. So if that's something you would be interested in, let me know. And I'm going to put up a video later on explaining. It comes from one of my DVDs. I'm going to actually show a deal if I can get this right. So I'm not promising, but I want to show a deal that I did for one of my students who was going through things psychologically, but we actually used a realtor to get financing and private money, and he made money up front, and he made more than double on the house deal of what he put into what he bought it for. And I want to put this out there, whatever, just so you guys can get an understanding of how we even use realtors as our best friends. That's a love-hate relationship in investing. People usually hate realtors, but we actually use a realtor to put it down.